Don't you know? Obviously. I don't need your shit. Fuck, I was sick for a week. Fucking
pretty sure that we have some kind of incurable disease in the family.
I think Dad's like, I think we were inhaling something toxic. I'm like, yeah. I was cutting up that old window and pulling out those bars.
Half of my life.
Yeah, but dude, so the other day I was yanking out that window with the bars in it, right? Babe, do you want to kill that light? So I'm yanking out the window with those, and I had to start cutting it all apart. The sawdust coming out every time I'd cut it. Like, it was so bad.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't get away from it. And then the next day I got up, I'm like, something's fucked up.
I was cutting the speaker holes in the ceiling. I was cutting it, and then I was like trying to wipe my face, and then my mouth was open, and like literally a whole pile of drywall dust. I like sneezed it all out of my mouth.
Dude,
Ken's
so
like,
good.
what are you doing?
He's always like,
what are you doing? And I was like, he didn't say anything, but his face was like,
his face says it all quick too,
Oh,
like right
yeah.
away. Been a little while. Been a couple weeks since we did a podcast. Has it been that long?
I don't know.
It's been like 10 days, 10, 11 days.
I've been too busy to fucking.
Fuck. Yeah, but that's a fucking excuse.
No, I understand. We're doing it.
Yeah, but I think
I still feel too busy with them, but we're doing
excuse
it.
me. Yeah, when you make time for your priorities. And unfortunately, we have other things that we have committed to that we got to get done. The restaurant's going like 100 miles an hour, right? So it's just go
9 p.m. and I have a pint of
It's
coffee.
8:43 and you have a pint of coffee.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Either way,
Yeah.
it's fucking late.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be up till next Tuesday.
Yeah, 100%. I had to actually go down to 1 cup of coffee when I was doing the ketogenic diet because I was freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
But now that I'm back off of it and just eating everything I can find and put on for like 10 pounds in a week because I've been sick and I look like a bag of shit, I can drink all the coffee I want. So there's positive.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I feel bad. I've had a bad week.
Yeah.
It's bad. Svetlana Korvatska back from Mexico,
Yeah,
and she likes to eat.
Well, she came back on you both like to eat, but she came back on off a tear onto a new tear.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things. It's like misery loves company thing. You know, when I wasn't feeling well, I'm like, well, I can't train. And when I can't train,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'm not as tight on my diet. So it's like you eat a little earlier, eat a little later. So fasting goes to shit. And then Meg's like, well, Meg's like, well, you got all these restaurant stuff and all these stresses to worry about. Don't put the added stress of dieting on your shoulders. And me, I'm like, well, that makes perfect sense. No, it doesn't. I look like shit.
Don't you just every day you're like, what have I done?
Yeah.
Yeah. But nothing better than just like, just when you're being lazy and you're committed to being lazy, you just got like you got a bag of chips and chocolate bar and it's like some chips and some chocolate bars and some more chips and some chocolate bars.
Yeah.
And you lay in bed and just watch a movie and just chill.
Chicken pizza cheeseburgers.
Man, I made my own stuffed crust pizza. I made a cookie pizza with ice cream.
You cheat, like when you have cheat meals, you do it like epic shit. Like when you do something, when you really like, when it comes to your food, it's like sexual for you. Exactly.
Get inside of me. Stay there. I want you to exit me the other end though. What? Yeah, but I mean, like, I do really enjoy it. Right up until I'm done.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't want to get into that.
Well, at least you don't have like a guilt around it. Guilt, that took time. I've talked about that before. I've had guilt around food. But a lot of it is just like when you commit to doing something, you make and then you don't realize sometimes the psychological or like physical or mental, whatever, for the fallout it creates sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes.
I had something I was going to say, but I'm not going to say it because I shouldn't say it. So
Fair enough. I can appreciate that.
yeah. I feel like that was, an idea that I didn't execute, and that was pretty good.
Well, I think. Well,
it's good though. Sometimes it's good not to execute certain ideas.
yeah, I think most of the time it is good to execute, though. I think that's the thing is, I think it's execution versus ideas. Everybody's being an ideas man. I can't stand people like, I'm an ideas man. No, you're a fucking idiot. I'm sorry.
No.
Everybody's got ideas.
No, you don't understand.
Like,
my ideas are next level.
Yeah, dude. I've had people like, look, I'll come with the ideas. You just do them. I'm like, do I look like I'm fucking stupid? Well, maybe. But I don't need someone else's idea. If you have ideas, execute. If you're not going to execute, keep your ideas to yourself. Because your ideas get better and better as you execute and as your part are submerged in whatever it is you're doing.
Nice.
So these people that come up with like, I can't even gonna name names. It's so fucking funny. I'll tell you later. You're gonna laugh your balls off.
I already know.
I'm just like, dude, fucking save it. But you gotta crush. You just gotta do. You gotta execute. As everybody has got this, like, well, this is what I'm gonna do. And I've done it before. I've been like, oh, here's what I do. Here's who I am. Am I doing it? No, then that's not who you are. It's not who you. It's go do it. Go execute something.
Yeah,
and it's like
it's so much. Yeah, but I feel like for me, it's like I have all these ideas I love. I'm like, yeah, it sounds good. Once you have an idea, it's almost like you're like satisfied. You're like, okay, well, you know what? I'm working towards something. I'm not there, but I got something here, and then you fucking forget about it. You don't do anything with it. But just the idea is enough for some people. Just to get there, like
I think they anchor their own self-confidence in their thought process versus the execution. But I'll tell you firsthand, when you actually do the things, you don't have a full sense of security because you've had an idea. You have real confidence because you know what you're capable of. Yeah. And it's interesting though. I think a lot of times people have a lot of these ideas, like you said, and you see it in people. You see it in these guys that like talk a big game and they're going to do all these things and blah, blah, blah. And it's all just to pump their tires because they're so afraid, and girls too, they're so afraid of their own shadow when it comes to executing on shit. You got to start doing it no matter how uncomfortable you are, because that's when you get good at things and then you lose. It's just because you haven't done it before. It's not that bad. Failure is not that bad. Yeah. Failure really isn't that bad. I fuck shit up all the time.
I've been there.
Yeah.
No, not for you fucking shit up.
No, I watched that happen firsthand.
I've seen all of your failures. No, I've failed too. No, it doesn't get any easier, but I mean, the thing is, at least you understand that it gets easier from that one thing that you do. Like, you fail once at that subject, like...
Well, you iterate. So you fail early, fail often. People say. As soon as you iterate, you learn the ways not to do things. So you do get... It's like if there's 10 ways to do things, sometimes you got to do all 9 before you find the one that works. Yeah, sometimes you hit it out of the park first time. No big deal. Sometimes there's a million things you got to fuck up first. Again, that's fine, but it's getting... Once you start eating failure, you realize it's not that bad. Then you start executing and you start winning. And the other thing that I think is big is that people worry too much about what everyone else thinks. Like, we do this podcast. Let's say we do 10 podcasts and it stops. And you're like, oh, well, you had that failed podcast. If that's what people might call a failure.
We're not failures, okay?
Yeah, fuckers. It's one of those things where at least we got out and tried and did something. At least we got out and tried. It's like, for all the people out there that are putting people down for trying, go do something yourself. Yeah. Go get out and go try something yourself instead of putting other people down. People need encouragement, not discouragement. So don't be that piece of shit to do that to people. And obviously, if you're going to be someone to discourage people from trying, you've got your own set of serious issues. So look inside.
Those are the ideas you shouldn't execute. Don't discourage people, because it goes a long way. People don't realize the effect it has on people.
Well, when you need support.
Well, it's like when you're too afraid to do your own things and then you judge someone else for something they're trying to do and they're actually kind of a little bit hesitant about doing.
Because everybody is.
And I know, but it's a lot bigger effect than what they think they're doing to that
Absolutely.
person.
Because you know what? If you're doing the things you do every single day that is normal for you, and like for example, let's say you get on the subway every day, someone bumps you to try to take your spot, you're like, fuck you, I'm taking this. I'm getting on this ride. This is my subway. I got to get to work, because it's in normal. But if you're doing something different, like getting on stage and singing a song in front of somebody, and someone says, "Get off the stage, you fucking bum," that crushes you.
Yeah.
That's very tough. And even though you don't give a fuck about who that person is, you may never even see them again. In fact, if there's lights in your face, you might not even see who it is. But it's damaging because it takes a lot to just put your pride aside and try something new. I've gotten really good at not giving a fuck what anybody thinks, but it's taken years of me having that thought in the back of my mind. And it's something I don't hear people when they put me down. I hear you. I just don't care. I understand. I feel it. I just don't care, because I realize that you're one of those people that's not going to get up and do anything. Not that that's really... Not at the end of the day that should matter as much as it does, but I'm steadfast in my own resolve, and I like where I'm at, and I like what I'm learning, and I like my failures.
Yeah.
But
well, I used to think that what I'm doing, like comedy, entertaining, it was for other people, but unless I'm enjoying it, then there's no passion behind it, and I really shouldn't be doing it. So
I agree.
So really, it comes down to I shouldn't care what people think. I should care what I think, and I should like create something that
you love,
that I'm proud of.
Because it's full of
like
passion.
You though, because you can't be doing this for other people. You can't be trying to make $1 billion just so people know that you have $1 billion. No. You're doing it as a goal for yourself.
Yes.
So that's so people can say you're doing it for how you look, but like how you look being successful. But at the same time, being successful is something that you are working towards for yourself.
Right. So I think you touched on something very important
for
there.
Yourself.
You're right. I think something people discount when they get up and try new things, which we said is key. Mm-hmm. Execution is key. They forget to do things that they love. They think they do things that other people want them to do, or that their parents want them to do, or they do things that aren't in line with something even if it's in comedy, like you were saying, but you're trying to be funny for other people. Look, being successful in anything takes like 40,000 hours, not 10. It takes so much effort and so much work that there's going to be so many hard days where it's less about passion and more about perseverance, that you have to love what you do, because you're going to eat shit for so long and it's going to be so hard. There's going to be so many days you get up and you're like, why am I fucking doing this? So you got to love it. I agree. That's one of the litmus tests I think people should take. Like you and I were talking earlier. Should I execute something? Should I not? One of the things, there's a couple, but one of them I think is probably most important. If you have an idea, if you're going to execute it, make sure you love what you're going to do. Make sure you're very passionate about what you're doing and it means something to you.
It'll reflect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I think one of the other big things that not enough people do when they have ideas and they're starting to execute, I always say, get started, get rolling. It's never going to be perfect. Do yourself a quick favor, though. Take some time to punch some holes in your idea.
Oh, absolutely. Well, whether or not it's
feasible.
Yeah, and whether or not it's already been done better. Not like as far as art goes, that's subjective. Yep. But I'm saying whether or not there's better ways to do it or there's better ways to approach it.
Yep.
Sometimes you need to ask around, maybe just to feel it out. Like that's why I like
think that's a great
talking
idea.
to you.
Yep.
Talking to you guys about like my ideas and stuff. It's good to because it's good honestly to get other people to punch holes in your stuff.
100%.
And you can't be upset about it. It's honestly you're asking for an opinion, and there's no better way to do it. I think.
Yep.
Than to get. Focus group, almost like just get your friends and family involved.
I agree, and it's less, like you said, it's less about the opinion and subjective things and more about the objective things. More about the things like, look at your idea, and if I can show you why it's fundamentally flawed, don't waste your time. Don't beat a dead horse just because you had this idea and you're married to it. Let it go and move on. That's okay. At least you tried and you're executing.
Yeah.
But if you take that bit of time before you have reinvented sliced bread or whatever the fuck it is, or reinvent the wheel, as they say, look around. And see if it's a good idea and see if it's feasible. See if you can bring it to market. Like
whole bread. Oh, wait, that's been done.
Fuck. Called a bagel.
I was going to say, no, I was going to say bread that's not been sliced.
It's a hole in the middle.
All right.
Nudge.
I'm into that.
No, I mean, I think there's be passionate about it, but then also think about the feasibility of bringing it to market, or like what you do is like, do you have an outlet to be funny? You do. There's so many social outlets for you right now. You're gonna crush it when you keep doing it. You know what I mean? But it's like, if you don't have the certain channels, just be aware.
Yeah, honestly, there's one thing to be to fail. That's something you're doing. That's shitty.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, but it sucks. I mean, the thing is, you have to get used to it. It's even worse to not even try.
100%.
And know that you're from day to day, like as the days go on, you're not trying. That feeling of not even trying.
It's called regret. Eventually.
Yeah. It's a way worse feeling than trying and failing.
Is that I think
but
people
until you try and fail, you're not actually gonna know. but believe me, it's. Trying and failing is a lot better than not doing it at all.
People are glued to the fear of failure more than they are regret. And the only reason I think that's true is because they don't know true regret. But I think young people, I'm not out of that group, but I've eaten enough shit and failed enough that I know this. Young people, I don't think really give enough credit to being old and having regrets. Because look, I watch guys that play football now. You watch the NFL Combine that's up right now. They do all the skills competition thing.
Yeah.
I'm too old now at 33 to be an athlete. Like, I can still goof around and have some fun, but that's gone.
God, you're a duster. Yeah, you have to move on.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
No, you're super athletic, but even at my age of 26, I'm too old.
Yeah, you'd have to be in your prime at this point.
I have to be like, this guy's killing it.
Yeah.
So it's too late for a lot of
and I don't have regrets about athletics. I don't. It's bothered me in the past for a short period of time, but I don't actually have. But I'm aware that I'm already past my prime with it. Yeah. Now I've got another 70, 80, 90, 100 years to do a lot of shit, but I don't want to be 70, 80, 90 years from now having so many regrets because I didn't chase the person I loved, or didn't execute on my ideas, or didn't get up on stage and sing that song, or didn't follow something I love to do. I didn't execute. I mean, I'm telling you, that's the number one thing older people have to say is they have so many regrets.
Yeah.
Because they didn't execute. Got to get out there.
That's fair. I mean, sometimes I feel like with big ideas, executing your ideas, it's great. I think you should always try it, right? But certain things that are your ideas, like you said, if you can poke a hole in it, like even if it's like a split second decision.
Yeah.
Whether or not you're going to execute that idea. Like, I think sometimes you need to know when to not.
Well, that's a gut thing.
Well, that's
a lot of times if it comes down to split second.
That's what helps you grow.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes split seconds. Like, sometimes there's jackasses that just want to park right behind your building while you're trying to...
That guy was a tool.
Oh, my God. He parks right behind the building.
Asshole.
And I said, oh... And they're moving out from the building behind us. I said, we're actually just blowing out the wall here. There might be some rocks flying. Might hit your car.
Not to mention he parked in a handicap spot. And guy wasn't handicapped. Not a handicap.
Anyway, you know what? He might have been. Who knows?
Yeah, after...
Nope. All right.
Yep, leave that alone.
So, but then the first thing he says to me is, you guys are always parking in our spots. And I was like, we're only parked in our spots right now. He says, well, you can deal with it. And I'm like, I had a bad day at that point. It was a stressful day, but I was like trying to turn it around, and this guy's like, well, you hit my car with a rock? I'm charging you. I'm like,
oh, that guy was so litigious. He just, are you threatening me? Dude, you say, if you scream as loud as you, peacock as loud as you can in the parking lot, sunshine, everybody's staring at you.
All of us,
you look like such an idiot.
Yeah.
If you yell that I'm threatening you, which I didn't, which is ridiculous. That's just like you're automatically being like you're litigious. You're telling you're going to charge one guy and are you threatening? Like you're.
You told me to take a swing at him as he's going back to his car. You're going to take a swing at me?
Like, buddy, you don't want me.
So that's one example of, because I had time to think. That's one example of an idea that I didn't execute. And I'm still not in jail. It's perfect.
Fair day, boy.
It's just it's
don't execute all your ideas.
Yeah, don't execute all of them, even if they seem like a good idea in the split second. But yeah.
Well, I mean, there's don't get me wrong. There's a lot of other things that, like, okay, there's this big weed craze. Everybody's selling weed. Everybody's got this right. So now, if you jumped on the weed craze a couple of years ago and opened a dispensary and all these other things, there was opportunity to make some real money. But now they're legalizing it, and they're obviously sanctioning it because it's the government. They're going to tax it. Jumping in that right now, that'd be a poor idea to execute. So also understanding your market is a big thing.
Huge.
Knowing I mean, I don't know. I think that's just a fascinating market. I think there's a lot there. I think it's going to grow, but you got to access it from the right point. You can't open a dispensary anymore. Those are closing down left, right, and center.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
there's more bigger ones opening at this point that are like doing just distributing right to the government.
Yeah, well, they said there's something going on about them selling it at the LCBO or something. I don't know if that's bogus or what the hell. I pay no attention to it.
LCBOs are going to be
carrying it.
Yeah, like, there's one in Barrie.
What are they going to? What? That's a fucking job I want. I wish I was able to name the weed these kids smoke these days. That is like that sounds like so much fucking fun to me. You like put this stuff up in all the LCBO stores, like you got like Weisers, you got Absolute, you got these other. Name the weed. That sounds like a good, because like the shit that. What were you saying you smoking the other day?
Girl Scout cookies. No,
like
Girl Guide cookies?
Girl Guide cookies?
Girl Guide cookies.
What, like the seventh moon of Jupiter? Like, who the fuck wouldn't want to smoke that? That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Or like, the fuzzies above my butt. I don't even know. what, you can say whatever. Like,
they're like, your pole. Yeah. What were you doing last night? I was smoking your pole. That would be the best job. That I would execute on.
What kind of strain is that? It's called They're Following Us. As soon as you smoke it, you think everyone's following you.
Legit. Out of the fluffy thing of follow your passion and do what you love to do and execute, think about also the market, because right now we've got this big hike in minimum wage that just went through in January. So a lot of people that don't own small businesses are like, oh, well, why did this price go up, or why is this happening? Oh, you got tax credits and stuff. No, we didn't. That's not how it works. We don't see any tax credits until like the fiscal year ends. And if you're trying to grow your company, you will get tax credits based on where you're at, not what you're doing to grow. And honestly, my hard cost went up by 9%. And it's not just that I have to pay my employees more. It's that all my vendors, I sell a finished product.
Everything costs more.
So the wholesalers, the distributors, everybody raises their prices. No. It's not just like I'm like, well, fuck these guys, I got to pay more money. I calculated my hard cost went up by 9%. So what they said was they calculated that 20% of restaurants in Ontario are going to close this year. 25 actually, and there's only going to be a 5% growth. So overall, it's a 20% increase. Or 20% loss, rather. I apologize. And usually there's a growth rate. So if you're going to jump into the business, you got to understand what you're going to need from an operational funding point. Now, you can still build it for about the same, but what you're going to need for operational funding, what kind of leeway or runway you're going to need now to operate, and how much it's going to cost to have staff on. That being said, I feel that there's a big open space in the market for people like me that know what they're doing right now because of all the places that are closing. I feel like if I can fight through it for a couple of years and everything stabilizes, then I'll be in a very good place where there's a lot less competition. Yeah. So understanding your market and what you're doing is also a big thing on executing ideas.
Well, I don't think your market's going to be anyone that works for minimum wage anymore because obviously all the prices of the restaurants are going to go up as well.
Oh, they have.
They have to, though.
Well, they're
like, oh, everyone that makes minimum wage just thinks it's such a good idea. When realistically, everything like that you'd want to go
inflation, everything's going to stabilize. Yeah,
everything's going to go up.
It has to.
It's just
everything's gone up, and it's challenging because a lot of people are giving like I don't fully know the story, so I'm going to sort of paraphrase part of it to prove a point. But everybody got on Tim Hortons about cutting certain breaks and doing certain things with their schedule, like their employees' breaks and times like that. Mm-hmm. But it's like, what can you expect from a company that's got 5,000 units roughly that operates on hiring minimum wage staff as entry-level staff? It's not like these are highly skilled. Like some of them I'm sure are highly skilled. Some of them have I'm not taking away from anybody that works there. What I'm saying is entry-level work. That's what it is. And what you're doing is it's crazy what you're doing to the hard costs of companies with this. And whatever. I think minimum wage increase is good. I think people should make more money. I think it's been lacking. I think that the cost of a home or the cost of things nowadays versus what people make is way out of whack. I agree with that, and I agree with the increases. I don't agree with how it was done. It was just, but anyway, regardless, what I mean to say is understand your financial landscape, the landscape of your industry, and what it is you're executing your ideas on. Don't be the guy that goes, oh, I like to cook. I'm going to open a restaurant. You're going to fail. Don't be the guy that says, unless you have a ton of money. Don't be the guy that's like, oh, I want a clubhouse for my buddies.
Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah.
Do what the fuck you want,
that guy champed. Don't be the guy that's like, oh, I want a clubhouse for my buddies to drink at so we can get away from our wives. Don't open a bar if you're going to do that if you need it to work because you're going to fail. Know your business and execute within your realm of strengths and understanding.
Yeah. I mean, you need to get, like, no matter what, ideas are ideas, execution is execution. But if you're executing your ideas in the wrong environment, then it's all fucking moot.
Yeah, I mean,
none of it makes realistically, if you're not doing it right, and if you're not doing it in the right environment, then exactly. You need to make sure there's no holes.
Yeah, what I think
not like no holes. You can work.
There's
gonna
be problems. There's always gonna trust me. There's gonna be problems.
I mean, you have to it has to make sense.
Yeah.
But if it makes sense and you're not doing it just because you're not feeling well that day, or you're gonna do it next week, or like the opportunity hasn't fallen in your lap, then it's kind of just your own fucking bullshit excuse.
Yeah, if you're being a lazy procrastinator.
Yeah.
Or if you're making bullshit excuses on why you can't get started.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't understand. This is the biggest thing for me that I don't understand about people. They have this idea. I've got an idea. What's your idea? What's your elevator pitch? And that's all they do. Their elevator pitch is like 10, 20 seconds. Oh, it's this, and this. You mean to tell me you've got this big idea? So where is the rest of your information on your big idea? Flesh it out. Go look up like business plans. Go look up like strategic ways to actually put your idea on paper so that you understand the parameters of it.
I don't think you understand that a lot of people just don't have that in them, unfortunately, and that's why their ideas are basically shit because.
Right, but what I'm saying is, if you go through a process, no way,
Svetlana Korvats,
no way. You just took a phone call on the podcast.
Hi. Yeah, we're in the middle of a podcast. Yeah. How do you feel? No, I guess you'll have to go pin a dick on the guy or something. Have fun at your bachelorette party.
No age.
Later, homie.
What were we saying? If you have an idea, a way of just taking an idea and running it through a process to see if it's worth executing. Even if it's a 3-page document where you go, okay, here are the main points. Here's the market. Then you go to the stage 2. But that way you can at least funnel through things that you think are valuable.
Yeah.
And then stop. You know what? I've talked to people that are like, oh, here's my big plan. I can do this, this, and this. And good for them for trying to have ideas. But holy shit, when they talk and they say things, I'm just sitting there going, none of that's going to happen. None of it even makes any sense. You can't actually execute any of that. You're just telling yourself a story. Stop with that. Have an idea. Talk to people about your ideas. Run it through this process so you can realize or understand if it's legitimate or not. And if it can be done, take it to the next step. Actually put it into action. Do something.
Disposable shoelaces. Done. Reusable straws.
Done.
Nice. Yeah. A beer that drinks itself. I don't like it.
I think I'm gonna stop you right there.
Yeah, I have lots of guys. You talk to a lot of people. They have ideas, and they're like, they're just rapid fire too. Like they've been stockpiling these ideas. Like, guy, listen to me. You have no idea about to blow your fucking mind, and they come up with all these fucking crazy things. You're like, what?
Single city.
Grape sauce.
Swinger city.
Fucking love you, Hutch. Like it's just so. Honestly,
welcome to fuck city.
Oh, welcome to fuck city. I'm pretty much like I've been that guy. I still am sometimes. Right? I come up with these ideas and I'm like this would be so good. And I'm like, there's no way for me to really do it because I'm not passionate enough about that one subject. So the idea is really shit.
Well, it's like, you know what? You're gonna come up with stuff all the time. Like I came up with that idea for colleges today when we were driving home. It's a great idea. Giving them valuable credit. If they drop out and they want to go back to school, giving them value for the credits they already had financially so they can save, they will always go back to your school. They won't go to another one because they can get value for it. That makes sense. That's a good idea. Yep. I don't work in a school. I don't even like school. I don't even think people should go to school.
It's one of those ideas, though. Have you ever had ideas like that? Where you're like, well, that must be happening somewhere already.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, all the time. But I mean, I don't think you should execute on everything. But I do think that people should really pay more attention to following through on the things they really want to do with their life. Because I'm telling you one thing. If you get to the end of the road and you sit there and you have all those regrets and you just keep wishing you'd done something more, like you get one kick at this. This is it. As far as we know, this is the only fucking chance that Michael Harvey gets. The only chance that Jonathan Harvey gets. And I got to tell you, I don't want to sit there, 100 years down the road and just wish that I had done more with the life. Like having a life is such a gift. Being able to do the things we do is such a gift, especially living here in Canada or in the United States, like living in a place that's developed, being able to do all these things. Like it's such, not only are you a human being, you've got like the best environmental circumstances to execute and be fucking amazing. You don't want to sit there 100 years from now and be like, too bad I was afraid of my own fucking shadow that I didn't do shit. Holy fuck, that would be terrible. Yeah. Execute.
I know. Well, yeah. No matter where you're born into, too, I feel like do it. I mean, I just feel like no matter what you're born into, I mean, certain people are better off to try their, like Trump. Fuck that guy. But I mean, he has billions and billions and billions and billions of opportunities. Everything's handed to him. But the thing is, at the same time, I mean, it doesn't mean that like just because you're not filthy rich doesn't mean you can't execute. That is bullshit. Yeah. Blaming your circumstance. You know what? And a moment ago when I went on about that, saying we do have the best environmental circumstance, that's just because now you have another advantage. But always sitting there and blaming your circumstance, that's a fucking excuse. What is this? Yeah. Lifeless excuses, man. Come on. Everybody's like, well, it's because I'm this or I'm that or I'm a woman or I'm this or I'm black, I'm Indian, I'm even white people are like it's not a great time right now for anybody to be anything because everybody's under scrutiny for everything. We're at a point right now where everything's very left wing on people's approach to things, so everybody feels like it's so far left that it's hard to understand what's happening. Well, sometimes you have to be like I am the furthest thing from racist. I'm the furthest thing from I have no hatred in my body whatsoever. No. I really don't. But there's so much attention being paid to being delicate and walking on eggshells around everybody right now that everyone thinks that their circumstance is an issue. I'm telling you, instead of worrying about your circumstance, go out and do something for yourself. Just forget what you think is happening around you and still pay attention to that. Pay attention to what you can do for yourself. Yeah. Because every single person of able body and mind is exactly that, of an able body and mind. Get up and go do something. Get up and go do something. Don't worry about all the other crap. It's still going to be there if you want to go back to it later. But why don't you take your skills, your passions, your interests, all your ideas, and go do something? Don't give her hell. Right? This is happening. I'm telling you. Smash some Zans and get at her. Fucking, speaking of Zans, I got hella Zans. I don't even know what Xanax is. That's what he says. I don't know why people want to do Xanax. I don't actually know. I know it's a prescription drug, but I've never I don't know what Xanax is. People tell me it makes you feel like this. That just looks like your Girl Guide cookies face. Yeah, oh, man. Yeah. Like I think I melted yesterday. I'm like, oh fuck. You should have seen these fucking kids. Okay, so Svetlana Korvats went on a vacation, and all these kids came out of the airport. Like, I was waiting for her at the airport, and I was like, oh, I'm excited. I was videotaping even. And all these kids came out of the airport, and they're all just walking around bug-eyed, like straight-eyed, the white faces, like. They looked at me, and they're like, Mike, does Elena know you're here? I'm like, yeah. Okay, well, we're going to see you later. Okay. How high are you guys right now? Everyone walked out like a zombie. I'm like, why would you want to feel like that? That's scary. I'm like, yo, these kids don't get hooked on the prescription drugs.
Is that what it was?
Dude, in Mexico, they're at a pharmacy where legally they sell codeine, Adderall, Xanax, just over the counter.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I don't really mind deregulating drugs, having them available for everybody because
Which
I feel
is
like
fine. I'm just saying, like, maybe just watch it. You just smoke some Girl Guide cookies.
Yeah.
And get a bag of chips.
Yeah, that's actually pretty sweet. Yeah, see, I'm not functional. Like, well, I couldn't do that. I can't function. My reality is intense enough that I'm fucking good. I'm actually cutting down on caffeine in a big way because my reality is just way too much for me as it is.
Caffeine is they need to find a way how to regulate it because it's getting out of hand.
It is just crazy. It's like all that vitamin C these days, too.
Oh, the big amount of calories that's not in it. And Tim Hortons just has a monopoly on Canada.
I do love a good Tim Hortons. I can't believe there's almost 5,000 units of those places now.
Well, McDonald's coffee just wins, though.
It's good. $1 coffee, any size.
Sponsored by McDonald's.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Noise.
All right.
I actually want to get paid for that.
I think we just did.
Sweet.
At least I'm telling everybody. We're sponsored by McDonald's.
It's a paid podcast.
And Sprite.
Yeah.
And Depends.
The NBA, Superman, Modelo, Nomads. Got my own Nomads hats now.
Also sponsored by Dogs That Ride Bears on Bicycles.
Yeah, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's a pretty sweet-ass dog. I'm actually even impressed that he got the sunglasses on the bear.
It's quite the operation. He's just the guy running the thing. He knows what's going on.
Puppeteer.
All right, so things are moving forward though. It's been a little bit slower with the podcast, just because I guess we've been all hands on deck. It's everything. We finally got the permits for the restaurant, and so today we had some team meetings and like training, which is good. The whole team seems excited, and we're just honestly pumped to get everything going.
Oh God, yes.
So as soon as I don't know if we're gonna have another episode for a little bit. Might have some guests coming on soon as well.
Yeah, we got a few people coming on for sure.
So, but I mean, like, it might be just a little up and down for when we can actually put them out.
We'll try to stick to like a 10-day cycle right now. It's just tough. It's tough because you have to prioritize. Like, it's like you can only. One of the mistakes I made when I was younger as an entrepreneur is that I tried to pick up too many balls and juggle them at once.
You love picking up balls.
I love picking up the balls. Problem is, when you're trying to juggle 12 balls
in your mouth, you sound like
you
this.
drop a lot. So now what we try to do is we just pick up one ball at a time. Yeah, just one ball at a time because it's a lot easier to manage. And unfortunately, with the restaurants, we really have to focus on it. It's the biggest ball we have. So we're very, very close. We're a couple weeks out or less. We'll be open. That'll be done. And then we'll be able to spend a little more time on this. So we can at least schedule time for this no matter what.
Yeah.
But until then, we'll get another one in. And we'll have some guests on and all that other stuff. But
yeah. But there was no excuses. That's why we feel like we had to do it. We're tired. He's sick.
Yeah, I'm sick.
We're busy every day. We don't have days off. I don't know what a Saturday is. Doesn't make any sense to me. But we have no excuses not to do it. So we forced it in today because we haven't sat down for a while. We're busy boys right now. And hope everyone else is staying busy out there. Go execute, my friends. Don't kill my friends. Oh shit! Don't wait. That's not what I meant. Hope you're all safe. Please don't execute my friends.
Him and I aren't friends.
Oh, I don't even know that guy. Fuck.
I want to say who?
Amazing.
Deuces.
All right, I'm out.